Welcome to Patriot Outdoor Adventures. Today, POA founder and CEO Mark Spencer joins Team Swamp Stomp for some Hogs Gone Wild, Texas style.
I appreciate it.
This is Mark Smith with Patriot Outdoors Adventures. Say this week we're down here in Texas with Team Swamp Stomp and Jason here. Say we're going after some hogs, but in a little bit different way. Why don't you kind of give us a little bit of an idea of what we're doing tonight and what we're going to be using?
Awesome. So we're going to be using weapon-mounted thermal scopes. So everybody will be set up with an AR platform with a thermal scope. These are basically going to find heat signatures. So anything with body heat, we'll see it. If a mouse runs across the trail, we'll see it out there. I'll be using a thermal scanner. The shooters will have weapon-mounted thermal, and hopefully we'll find some hogs tonight. We'll go through gear. It's going to be pretty simple. You guys are going to have one button to worry about on your scope all night. Everything else I'll handle for you. It's going to be plain Jane AR. You'll either be shooting 7.62 by 39 or 308. So the scopes have 2 inches of built-in eye relief with the rubber eyepiece, so you don't have to worry about getting your eye popped or anything like that. It'll be pretty much spot and stalk as far as the hunt is concerned. You know, we're not going to sit and wait. The only time that we would really do that is on a calm night where we can sit and listen for them. And there's not going to be any sitting and listening for them tonight. It's going to be pretty windy down there. We'll walk in and we'll kind of keep it in a single file line. I'll be using a spotter that's got a really low base magnification. So I've got a real wide field of view, so I'm not going to miss much. My eye's behind a thermal enough where I'm gonna kind of be y'all's eyes tonight.
I'm gonna let him shoot first.
We'll double team no matter what. Yeah, I'm always a fan of more bullets flying, the better. I don't like blood trailing. And we're gonna try to do a countdown, so we'll shoot on 3. So it'll be 1, 2, boom. Yep, so 3 is covered up by a gunshot. 2. 1, 2.
My name is Ray Garcia, RAYGARCIA, served in the United States Army. Private was my rank. I served as an MP, and the injuries I sustained were to my head. I have a TBI. I get migraines from that, PTSD, and depression.
Brian Strauss, Sierra Tango Romeo Oscar Uniform Sierra Echo, from Peoria, Illinois. Joined the Army in 2001, moved to Kansas, been there ever since. I got VA rating for PTSD, anxiety, back issue, right knee issue, arthritis in my back, knees, shoulders.
Now you've gone out with POA on a couple of different hunts and fishing trips.
Yeah, so POA for me is a lot of therapy for me personally. I really enjoy, the camaraderie, the friendships we make. It's not just about the hunt or the fishing trip per se. It's more about meeting your brothers and getting to know their stories, and at the end of the day, we're all the same. We're all longing for that camaraderie, because when you leave the military, you leave all that behind you, and you don't have that camaraderie, and you long for that. You want to be with your brothers, and you want to get their stories and understand where they're at in their life, and yeah, you show up as strangers, but we're all brothers once we leave, and that's what I get out of POA.
So probably one of the biggest things that I see that benefits everybody is just that peer group that we get. I mean, you come out on a weekend hunt or a fishing trip, but by the time you leave, you've got all these contacts that if you're down, you're in a black hole now, you've got somebody you can just call anytime. They're going to sit there, they're going to go with it through you. You're not on your own anymore.
It's a lot of it is more like an extended family, but it's like an extra lifeline.
Yes.
And so when you're going through those down days and you're going through your depression, and everybody has it, all of us have it, all of our brothers have it, and when you're down on yourself, you can pick up the phone, you can call somebody, it brings awareness that we are here for you, and even if other people say, yeah, I'm here for you, we actually are there for you, and we're there to listen to you. We're that shoulder you can cry on, and we're just there to help everybody.
Patriot Outdoor Adventures will be right back after a word from our proud sponsors. Welcome back to Patriot Outdoor Adventures and our wild boar hunt in the wilds of Texas with Team Swamp Stomp.
And you were saying about some creek swamp or creek bottoms and stuff?
Yeah, so basically these hogs like to travel with water. So any kind of creek or river or that sort of thing, as it gets warmer down here, they're going to be traveling with that. So it's going to be some real river bottom kind of stuff, palmettos, sawbriar, switch cane, that kind of stuff. So it'll be
Fun traveling.
Yes, sir. Some good walking for us anyway tonight.
The wind is terrible, so we might have just kind of a split second sort of thing. Yeah, if they start to wind us, we're not going to have time to talk about like, okay, you shoot the one on the right. Just get one on your side. Don't shoot until I count us down. But if they're just standing there eating, then we'll be able to talk about like, all right, second big one to the right, you take this one. We'll
I'll shoot his right hood off, things like that.
Yeah. But otherwise, if we have to set up fast, just get on one on your side and wait for my countdown, and we'll be good to go.
Roger that.
All right, guys, let's roll.
Now, what was your impression then when we first walked up to that first hog?
Oh, that was amazing.
That was a big one. I was kind of surprised. I mean, I've taken several hogs down here with other vets and stuff, and that's definitely one of the bigger ones we've seen.
Yeah, I expected, groups of, the females and the little piglets, and to see that size of a hog for the first one, that was exciting.
As soon as we came around one corner, I mean, that big boar was there, probably a 350 pound boar. And our guide got us set up, got our shooting sticks out, and the rest was on us. I mean, we're the ones that had to punch his ticket, and pretty much we did that. We dropped him right in his tracks.
Hog down.
Yeah, that was one of the good things. Like I said, we didn't have to go trapping any animals tonight. They all went down really good for us. Good, ethical, clean hits.
Oh yeah. It's different. I'm not used to hunting at night, and the little experience I did have hunting at night, we basically would just spot and stalk and shoot too, but not with a thermal scope.
The equipment was amazing. I was kind of leery, if we'd even see pigs because the wind was gusting 15, 20 miles an hour. So had my hopes high. Oh, it was amazing. I didn't think it'd be this good, but yeah, that's better than what I used in the military. So clarity is amazing. It's easy to use.
Have you ever heard of the show Finding Bigfoot? They filmed an episode a mile from here. The TV show would go viral. I mean, that'd be the best TV show ever. We got a Bigfoot.
We got Bigfoot right here. It's right here.
Yeah. There he is, standing over here next to us.
They already caught him.
I'm Littlefoot.
Bigfoot and Littlefoot.
Well, we were walking on a wide open trail, and the guy kind of stopped us. He's like, I think I see something over in the brush. And he went up, got up on a tree and looked back in the brush. Come back, said, hey, there's a couple hogs back here. Let's see if we can stalk a little bit closer. It's about 20 yards walk up, and there's brush and stuff on the ground, so had to kind of take it slow. Got up there, he set us up, and you just had a real narrow window to see it. Got the thermal set up, sitting there looking, and they moved, and we had to, wait for them to stop moving. Then there's just a narrow window, and it worked out perfect.
One, two, three.
He's down. There's one on the right that's down too. Oh no, he's moving to the right.
The one to the right.
I see him.
Like I said, it's a 100-yard shot. I mean, we can do that, no problem.
Yeah.
But as soon as we turn on the lights to walk in, we saw how thick that brush was there and how a bullet made it through there and actually stayed on target. It just blew me away.
We basically had maybe between trees, 100-yard lane of maybe 3 feet straight at that hog. And those thermal scopes do their job. They give you a great shot on it, and the rest was history.
We all have been hearing, like I said, about the area down through Texas and stuff, maybe Oklahoma and other places being completely overrun with these hogs and stuff. What type of damage do they actually do?
Sure, well that's actually how we find a lot of our properties that we hunt on is folks that are just having hogs come into mostly hay fields around here. We don't have too many crops. They come in and they're rooting for especially any sort of plant root that's a thicker root, that'll hold some moisture. Also grubs and worms, beetles, things like that. But it leaves the soil where you can't mow, you can't drive a tractor on it without getting beat around. And it can just destroy a hay field, in a matter of a night or two.
Well, and that's the primary reason that they're wanting people to harvest them as much as they are, is because of just the sheer number of acres that are being torn up and the loss of funds and stuff for the farmers and everything.
Yeah, not to mention the guys that are whitetail hunting around here get their feeders torn up and all the damage there too. So they're definitely a problem and multiply faster than we can kill them.
Yeah, that's a big thing. They multiply so fast. They don't just have 1 or 2 in a litter. Say there are 10, 12 that are coming out at a time.
Everybody stay tuned. Patriot Outdoor Adventures will be right back after this quick break. Welcome back to Patriot Outdoor Adventures with Team Swamp Stomp.
This is Mark again with Patriot Outdoors Adventures. We're here with Team Swamp Stomp, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the equipment we're going to be using. Primarily the thermal scope by Pulsar that these guys up here at Team Swamp Stomp have, and we're going to be using this evening. You'll see some footage of it here. Can you kind of go over a little bit of the pros, cons, and capabilities of the piece of equipment?
Sure. Yeah, that's actually a big part of our business. Whenever I was first getting into the thermal and night vision game, it's almost a new language you have to learn. There's so many terms out there that are just foreign to you. Diopters and microbolometers and all this kind of stuff that it's like, whoa, what is that? So I really spent some time doing my research. It's a nice unit that you're going to get for a decent price. This is actually the Pulsar Trail. So this unit has over 5 hours of built-in recording. So you press one button, it's going to record everything in your screen. All of these units, you're going to be seeing heat signatures out to 1,000 plus yards, some of them up to 2,000 yards. 150, 200 yard shot is definitely easily doable, and at nighttime, really that's all you're going to want to do. They've got awesome picture-in-picture function. So basically, when you're shooting at running targets, you want a low base magnification. So you have that wide field of view. If you're shooting a hog that's 200 yards away, you want a lot of magnification, so you can really put a precise shot on him. So it gives you that wide field of view, and then it takes that same picture, copies it, and puts it up top and zooms it in. So you have a high magnification and a low magnification all within the same screen. So you can take your first shot with that top screen that's zoomed in, and then shoot running hogs with your wide field of view. You're going to be able to scan this fast across the field, and if there's something out there, it's going to glow hot, so okay, there's something live. You're going to have to get 500-600 yards before you can really tell, okay, is that a deer, is that a cow, is that a hog? But body shape wise, if you've spent 2 weeks with one of these things, you start to see how they're moving. You can see, okay, it's a kind of bouncing, or it's a long neck on a deer, that kind of thing. So it gets a lot easier as you put a little time behind it.
Pulsar's known for very top quality product.
Sure.
We're probably looking, you said 5 hours of record time just on one battery charge. How is the longevity overall of the scope?
Like standard night vision, it has a tube inside of it that has a life expectancy. This is a little different because it's so computerized. They come with Pulsar scopes come with a 3-year warranty. They're shock resistant, they're water resistant, and you can operate them in below freezing temperatures. So they're definitely tough units. I've had some scopes that have been dropped in mud puddles, dropped out of the buggy. Dad drove his side-by-side off a ditch one day, and the gun rolled out and it survived. So they're definitely tough units for sure.
Basic operation, how hard is it to set one up before you get ready to put it on the weapon to go out? Or
it's really not hard. They do a great job in their manual of giving you some things to go through. That's always a great part of buying from a smaller dealer like us, or the other smaller Pulsar dealers out there, rather than a big box store. My customers can call me at 8:30 at night and go, man, I'm out here and there's hogs in front of us and I can't get my scope. You know, they can kind of reach out to us that way. But it's really easy. There's kind of a quick menu that you use in hunting situations, and then there's a deep menu that you use when you sight it in. And so once you get that kind of stuff set up in the field, there's only like 2 or 3 different adjustments that you might make, like brightness and contrast, that are really fast adjustments, just a quick pop-up menu. And other than that, maybe your zoom.
Now I know Pulsar is famous for their one-shot zeroing.
Yeah, so that's an awesome function too. I spend so much time swapping scopes between guns and all the stuff we've got going on here. Also gun shows and things like that. I may pull some scopes off of guns. One-shot zero freeze function is really cool because you just set your point of impact right on there, freeze it, and drag your crosshair over, and it's that simple.
Say another one of the big features with them is the ability to view what you're seeing on the screen on an external device, such as an iPad,
stream
phone.
vision.
Yeah.
Things that if you've got a buddy hunting with you or something like that, and especially if you're with these hogs, you can hunt from a side by side, or if you're covering a lot of ground. A lot of times what we do, this one's on a quick detach mount, so you pop this thing off, scan like this, and you can literally hook up to an iPad or smartphone in the truck or in the side-by-side and just watch it as you go. That gives you the capability to have everybody in the side-by-side watching that screen. You don't even have to have your eye on the scope. You can just be doing like this, or you can figure out a way to mount it or something like that and view it live.
What other key features are on this version?
So they actually, a few months ago, they came out with a new, it's the same basic guts of this trail model, but it's called a Trail LRF. So it's got a built-in laser rangefinder. You have a little square inside your screen, you just hit a button, it'll tell you the exact range on it.
I saw one that it actually had a ballistic calculator built into it, so you lased it with the laser rangefinder, and it would calculate your drop and stuff.
I mean, it's really never ending on what you can do with these things. The technology is just so good, and it's super easy to just plug these things in, put your videos on a computer, or look at them through Stream Vision. It's just, the technology is awesome on all the functions these things have.
Can we shoot him?
Everybody stay tuned.
We have a clear shot.
Patriot Outdoor Adventures will be right back after this quick break.
I didn't have a shot on him. He's down.
Welcome back to Patriot Outdoor Adventures and our thermal hog management plan with Team Swamp Stomp.
We're doing it in every way that we can with dogs, with these thermal scopes, which make a huge difference in the success. With the standard spotlight or gun light or something like that, you may get 1 or 2 shots. With this, you've got lots of follow-up shots. Even if they're in some brush, you can still see them out there and knock down a few more. So this is really making a difference.
Now, Team Swamp Stomp doesn't just do hog guns. What all do you guys do?
Basically anything that you can do hunting or fishing wise in East Texas. If it's fun, we do it. We can either do it personally or book through some of our partners there. We kind of specialize in the thermal imaging hog hunts as well as hog dog hunts. We also do bow fishing charters, gator hunts, exotic hunts. We can line it up, and we kind of keep a motto: if you can dream it, we'll figure out a way to make it happen.
No, I mean it's a lot different. Shooting at night. Your depth perception of where you're at versus where the hog's at. It's a lot of work. It's not as easy as it looks. And the guy did a great job of putting us on the hog and said just aim for his vitals and his head. And I'm used to shooting at the head, so that's what I did. I shot at his head and we dropped him.
I'm ready. Yep. 1, 2. Punch this clock. You don't have to. We punch this clock. Good night. Alright, looks like they're getting set up to take this hog. Got a shooter on either side of the guide there in the middle. Hog down. Hog down. Great shot. They probably a little bit over 100 yards there. Yeah, that was a perfect 1, 2, 3.
And like we talked about in our safety briefing earlier, it is pretty similar to a military operation. We're going single file compressed, and And so we're going to be trying to sneak in real close to these things and hopefully get some good shots at them tonight.
Yeah, let's see if I can find him. There he is.
Well, we're walking up, we got through that real thick mud, and he just basically told us, hey, there's a hog up here, try to be as quiet as you can. And I don't think we're very quiet, I just think the hog's hearing was bad.
One, two. Take your jump. Stay on him.
The big picture here, how would you see something like this benefiting veterans like yourself and others to coming out and doing these type of events?
Well, you get to come out and actually clear your head, which is kind of hard to do. Because usually I have racing thoughts and it's hard to relax and, you know, just kind of step back and take a breath. And come out here, it's peaceful, there ain't no worries. You got other people who've been through similar situations. You get set back, joke around, talk, meet new people. Good relaxing weekend.
As long as I'm here on earth, I'm gonna do everything I can to help us. I mean, it's definitely worth my time, and it's worth the effort that you go through and the sacrifices you go through with your family and not being at home. It's worth it for me too, and I'm just glad I'm a small piece of it, you know.
I see the only way of defeating the 22 plus, you know, vets that's taking their lives every day is by doing it ourselves.
For me, the mission statement, from what I understand with POA, is to help, you know, spread that suicide awareness.
Yeah.
For me, it hit close to home almost 9 months ago. And I think I've talked to you about this. You know, my niece took her life at 20 years old. And, you know, I do this all the time. I'm with Mark and I'm with the veterans, and I talk about all these things with all our brothers. And for me, it never hit so close. And it can happen to anybody. You don't know what people are going through. You don't, you know, they look like they're fine. They're on these trips with us and they're fine. And when they go home, it hits them. And at least when they're here, at least for 3 days, we get to take their mind off whatever it is they're going through. And we can show them that there is help and we are here for you.
Exactly. You know, and our logo, Helping Heroes Heal, is not just this logo that was put up there for everybody to see and feel good about. It's really what we try to live by. I want to thank Team Swamp Stomp for having us out today, and thank you, Jason.
Yes, sir.
Say we
Absolutely.
enjoy having the opportunity to come out and get some of these Texas hogs.
And we'd like to thank all the men and women who serve in our military and thank you for watching. We'll see you next week on Patriot Outdoor Adventures.